and then finally can start pushing towards a new all-time high. All right, XRP. So like I mentioned, this one hit between that 185 to $2 range, and now we're getting a push right back to the upside. So this is exactly what we wanted to see. I did not want to see XRP sweep below this area over here. I just, this was enough. This was enough. We got one, two, three, and now, it broke this high. So, I remember I told you guys we would hit roughly 265, and we got to see what we're gonna do from there. And then look at that. They brought it right back down to roughly 191, and now we're getting a reaction. We're back over $2.15. We're at 218 right now. Yeah, we might get a little bit of a, some like a little minor retracement here. It's possible, but overall, this is looking good. Let's see how we can end this quarter and this 6 month candle. So the 3 month candle is at $2.18. This was literally bearish just yesterday. So this is great. It's great to witness. I did not want to see this quarterly candle turn bearish or close bearish for this quarter. I did not want to see that because a quarterly candle closure, bearish candle closure, would basically like increase the possibilities of next quarter where we'll be sweeping the low once again. So I don't know if that makes sense, but basically I did want to see this turn bullish once again, which it stays bullish above 208. So it's looking like we should close bullish. We got 6 days and 9 hours left on the 6 month time frame. 6 month candle is also bullish. This is great to witness. And then we'll have the next 6 month candle. Um, for the second half of the year. And yeah, so we'll see how the 2 month candle also closes in 6 days and 9 hours. So a lot of candle closures coming in the next week. But I am glad that this went above 208 to stay bullish because this is just confirming the overall macro strength at this point. So, yeah, XRP, let's take a look at what we should get next. So, same thing, we're just in an overall demand zone. If you take a look at, for example, right here, literally right here, right? You see how we literally swept this low? You see the one, two, and then it went up, came back down into a demand zone, and then pushed, right? And look what's going on over here. One, two, we came back down into a demand zone, and then what's coming next? Will likely get this push over this $4 to $5 range finally. So it's very likely coming in quarter 3. I did expect it to come in quarter 2. I was wrong about that, but they're just stalling things, and I guess the overall they're making the overall narrative just fall in line with the rate cuts and I guess other things that they got coming up in the next few months. That's what I believe. But the overall market has been stalled for many months. The fact that quarter 1 slowed us down, took a lot away, but that does give us the possibility to extend later into the year or early 2026. So that's, the trade-off that it is they slowed things down in 2025 just to extend it slightly, just a bit into maybe next year. So that is still a possibility as of today. And it might not happen on everything, but it can happen on a handful of assets. And XRP is one of them. Remember, XRP does like to move last. It usually moves after Bitcoin already. And because it's a more aggressive mover. So, yes, it'll be stagnant, 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 and then it'll start moving aggressively after Bitcoin already has had its run. So, they're two different assets with two different characteristics. And yeah, so this one definitely is looking very similar to this overall, pattern right here. One, two, demand zone push. One, two, demand zone. And we're getting ready to continue this trend. And that should push us towards, once again, between $4 or $5. Hopefully we could get even up to eight. I would love that. I mean, we're gonna eventually hit eight in my opinion, but I'm talking about on this next push. Hopefully what I would love to see is a push towards, $4 or $5, then a cool down, and then a push up to like 8 to 12, and then a cool down here, maybe a little retracement, which is very likely. And then, if this can happen all in quarter 3, we can then get some great quarter 4 action. That's what I would love to see. And hey, look, we got 6 months left. That is still very, very possible. So quarter 3 is very, very important. We definitely want to see some action in quarter three. And this, this little reaction that we're getting to end quarter two is looking, it's a great signal for what's to come. All right, we got syrup. So syrup, syrup has been amazing. Um, Amazing. So we went all the way back down to this little micro demand zone. As you guys could see, like these are random. Like it's nearly impossible to predict where price is gonna bottom out, which is why when the price is retracing, that's when you dollar cost average. But it just ended up choosing this one. It could have chosen this one. It could have chosen this one down here. But no, it ended up just choosing this one. As you can see, look, this is just random. So anyways, ended up coming down here and got a great reaction from there, and now we're headed back towards this 70 cent range. So we're headed towards the all-time high right here on the Maple chart, and we'll likely break this. So maybe something like this, and then we'll probably cool down here once again. So, I'm not taking anything off the table just yet. I'm just holding, because I just understand the bigger picture. We're headed into, Syrup had an amazing quarter two, amazing. So quarter three and quarter four can be even greater. So we'll see how we can start, how we can end this quarter in the next week, and then we'll see how we can start quarter three, and if we could, start right away with some momentum. Even if we start we're off with a bit of a retracement in quarter three, let's say quarter three starts and we get a little bit of a fall, and then we just start moving higher, that's what we want to see. So, we're just gonna play that bigger picture. And, they're fundamentally that their team is doing great. Total value locked is increasing all the time. The company's revenue is increasing. So the Maple team is doing great, and it's just nonstop growth from now until the end of the year and possibly further. So, Syrup has been a great asset to hold for sure in this in the last couple of quarters. It was a little bit, we had a bit of turbulence, and it was a bit, we had that conversion from maple to syrup, but as you can see, that was a blessing in disguise. They gave us time to stack. I ended up having a way bigger position and lowering my average a lot more. So it was a blessing in disguise, really. And look, it caught right back up. And one of the reasons what I've always, believed in the maple token at first, which is now syrup, is because the chart was bullish. The chart was a very macro bullish chart, and syrup is continuing to follow it. So that's a great, great signal. Okay, SHX. So the fact that this is just inside of this white box and just chilling here, that's all we gotta see. That's all we gotta like, confirm to see to confirm that the overall trend still is bullish. So we just gotta be patient and wait for price to start picking back up. Um, we'll likely get a push towards this. Let's see where we could get where we can end this quarter in the next week. Let's take a look at the quarterly time frames. So quarterly candle is bullish. Look at that. Quarterly candle is bullish. Last quarter we swept below the low. And yeah, so this is definitely looking like it's gonna have a great quarter three and very likely a great quarter four as well. So yeah, I could definitely see some great price action coming for SHX in the next couple of quarters. If we can head between 5 to 10 cents in quarter three, that's gonna give us some great potential to hit, between 10 and even like I'll say 30 cents just to be conservative. But if we can close anywhere above 5 cents in quarter three, then quarter four definitely has some great, great potential. So, it still have a lot of time left. The fact that we're not looking too bad at the end of quarter two in reality. The fact that this basically just started the year off slow, right? And then built up, accumulated, and continuing its macro trend. That's all you got to see to really confirm that this is still performing extremely well, all the way from down here. So we're gonna get a big push. I still believe we can top out between 20 to, 50 cents. That still is a possibility, but we do got to see how we look in quarter three. All right. Velo. So Velo's looking great. This is another one. Basically, like if you take a look right here, look, 1, 2, very similar to XRP. 1, 2, then it hit the demand zone right there, and then it started building up and pushed. 1, 2, reacting to this demand zone right here. And what's happening? We're getting ready to continue this overall trend. This is on a nice, smooth trend. It's on a beautiful trend. This is one of the best buys, in my opinion, right now. And in the short term, we still got to make it through this white box right here, but I believe we're just going to shoot through that. Very, very similar to this. You see this box right here? You see this big zone right here? This like gray and red. Look how this is basically what I've been telling you guys. We're gonna hit inside of it, react a bit, hit inside of it, react a bit, and then push through it. So that's likely what's gonna happen right here. Hit inside of it, react a bit, hit inside of it, react a bit, and then push through it. And then we'll likely head towards this 5 to 6 cent range up here. And then yeah, that's all I see. That's all I see. I don't really see Velo coming anywhere over here. That would just be a failure for Velo at this point, and I just can't see that. The fact that it's been holding up here for literally weeks, well, months, yeah, since March, that's a great signal. All that's telling me is that they are accumulating this and preparing for a big push, and we have a lot of space to fill up here. So sit tight. All right,